one time, his brother D, we in this together. As always, with his brother Derek Pope, Product Films. We finna go down in a few minutes, man. The old school, new school, something. We anticipating plenty young men, and a few young women as well. And what we're gonna try to do today is make them understand that they was born to liberate our community. I ain't gonna give you no more. You gonna have to tune in for this one. Peace to you.
Peace to you. A girl that's 16 with a dream, being raised by a dad. Her mom died when she was 3. She wants to be a model, a singer. Vivid dreams of the right man, putting a ring around her finger. This ghetto fairy tale, I know it very well. I see it very often, why keep it to myself? She keeps to herself, pulling all A's. Guess daddy taught her right, let's all pray that she stay on this road and don't stray. To every hustler in the hood, she don't got time for games, they all the same. Except one, see he trying to change, cause he lost his moms too, they feel each other's pain. Next numbers exchange and they begin to date. So she brings him home to daddy and he fills up with rage, saying he her dream man, his life is finna change. Well hers is too. One night she came home late, she said,
Daddy, he's my man, why can't you understand? I can do what I please, I'm 16, can't you see? I'm grown.
Now she gone.
I understand what you feeling, but girl, you need to listen. That boy's only trouble,
And she don't even hear him. She grown. Now she gone. Now she moved in with him to pursue a dream. Not a model, but a wife to a street king. No, they not married, but they acting like they is. A child with child, is she ready for a kid? Her man heading for a bid. He never told her that his mom was killed. And when he told her, she already knew the deal. That he knew where he
Max, brother who is his church home, lead us in prayer.
Father, all we want to do, God, is say thank you. Lord, we ask that you lead us today, Lord. Lead us in this endeavor, God. We ask that you speak through us, God. Father, we ask that you help us, God. Help us see clearly the direction and the path that we must take, the things that we must do. And now, God, we leave all these things in your hands. In the name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Most of the people here today know that this has been built up. That's the old school, new school center. And I'm part of the old school. You can tell. What I want to get across today is basically for our young people. Because we didn't heard most young people thugs, most young people out their mind, most of them don't got a care in the world. Some of them even labeled Generation X, the unknown. We can't even describe these youth. But before I get into the main thing, let me take you back and show how this spirit came to birth. Because see, this just didn't pop up. We didn't just wake up one morning and say we're going to be out our minds and be thugs and be gangsters and be killers. We didn't decide this last week or when we turned 12. This came to birth. And it came to birth based on our history. Can anybody imagine in their mind for over 3 centuries, 300 years, never ever seeing anybody look like you with any power? Everybody looked like you was a slave. Everybody looked like you was owned. For 300 years, you never ever see a black man or black woman with any power, any authority, calling any shots. Never. Everybody who got power and authority own you. None of your own kind got any power. This is where that term comes, nigga, who you think you is? Because every now and then somebody may step up and act like they had a little something, and since you never ever witnessed it, the word was, who this nigga think he is? Because we don't act like that, we don't be like that, we don't live like that. We all in the same boat, all bold, all without power, all without authority. And this existed for over 300 years. Then it come a time where we was free. And we moved on. And ended up right back in the same boat that we was. What do anybody expect to happen when people are oppressed for this long? Those of us who understand Bible know that oppressed people have liberators that come. When we read about the Jews and being enslaved in Egypt for over 400 years, somebody came to liberate them. That was a natural process. It could not stop. It couldn't be denied. And even though the Pharaoh at that time knew it was coming too and planned to kill the male children so it couldn't happen, he still could not prevent it. Because in the soul and in the spirit of the people was dissatisfaction. And this 100 dissatisfaction bring about 100% change. Now, we get up to our grandparents who had to fight and die for what they thought was right. Independence may be what we should fight for, but give them the right to vote. Establishing our own schools may be what we should have fought for, but let's open up the doors to our own and let them in. Because the thing is to prevent the liberator from coming. The thing is to prevent those who may show up that's 100% dissatisfied. See, we had a big movement in the 60s. Everybody talk about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and Garvey before them, and it was all great men. But they never came, they did not arrive on the scene when it was 100% dissatisfaction. Because people was holding on to hope that, oh, they may be good. It may be right. We all can be equal one day. And ain't nothing wrong with that hope, because when you're a part of the human family, you should forgive those that trespass against you at times. You also should whoop those that trespass at times. But we was living in a time where people still held on to some hope that it may change, that it may get better, that you may open up society and make it equal. But it didn't happen. Because we wouldn't be here today if it had took place. It wouldn't be a need for Mr. Roberts. It wouldn't be a need for Roland Young or Brother D if it had already been done. But since it didn't, we finna figure out what time it is now. Because see, once in the 80s, see, I was born in 68, May the 12th, almost 30 days after the murder of Martin Luther King. So my mother carried me in her womb while Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was on the scene. But she never taught me about that. But she lived and had her first child in her womb while them men was on the scene. She wasn't really dissatisfied. And then in the 80s, brothers showed up like Chuck D, Sister Soldier, KRS-One, and X-Clan. They were the sons of those men. They came with a message to transform, but 100% dissatisfaction hadn't arrived yet. Because their own people, they're educated among their own, helped knock them out the game. Some of their own people helped redirect that whole thing, and then we got niggas with attitudes. Shoot that nigga. She ain't jack. He ain't nothing. This came. And this was allowed to grow and become the culture of our people. It has become the language that we speak. It's become the way that we dress. It's become the way that we live, the way that we interact with each other. But today, 100% dissatisfaction has set in. Because people sick and tired of us killing each other. People sick and tired of it not being no justice. In this generation, it's the generation to bring us complete liberation. That's your job, young man. And how you know it's your job? Because it always been the young people who did it. It ain't never been no old heads. Y'all like Martin Luther King was 26 when he stood up. How old is you now? About that age. Malcolm X was 26 when he stood up. Huey P. Newton and all them brothers was in their 20-some, even teenagers when they stood up to challenge this world, and now they done left a model behind for us to bring it into existence. See, because you can go around and thug in your community don't mean nothing. Can you go down to the school board and take our babies off Ritalin, make them stop suspending people in the first and second grade, kicking them out for 10 days? Can you stand up and do that? That's what you're supposed to be standing up to do. That's your job.
Cameron Brown, representing Freedom Music Entertainment.
I'm Demetrius Pettis, representing Freedom Music Entertainment.
I'm Jermaine Davis, representing Freedom Music Entertainment.
In Flinttown, y'all watching We In This Together with Brother D and directed by Derek Pope.
Dissatisfaction, and it's about to be 100% change. See, it already done took place. The 100% change that took place because they reversed it. See, ask some of these old heads. Some of the stuff the young people do, we don't know nothing about that. Our communities the way they was when we was growing up, they don't look that way no more. Some of the family ties that we had when we was growing up don't exist no more. 100% change. They turned what was supposed to be a call from God to bring us liberation and turned it in against ourselves and made us destroy our own selves. And we need y'all young people to change the game. Yeah, y'all gathering. You run around talking this. See, this is what you got to do, brother. See, we going to start making positive videos. Next time you rap, give an interpretation about this world you live in. Give an interpretation about what's wrong with your community. Give out positive image. You ain't got to call me a nigga never again in life. You ain't got to call Nan's sister a hoe again in life. That's how she became that, because the images was pushed out there. So if everybody calling you one on TV and on music, then you kind of accept that. If everybody calling you a gangster and a thug on everything you see and read and listen to, then you become that. So we can start today. And I got access to a show. And every time something positive come out, we're going to put it on. And if we can start today, put in your mind, I told this brother, when we did the show a couple weeks ago, my daughter and granddaughter coming in. But I was telling this brother the other day about how they done allow our artists to be robbed of their imagination. Robbed of your imagination. See, we think when we put our own twist on the gangster stuff, when we put our own twist on thugging, that we actually doing something. But it's actually proven that you've been robbed of your imagination, because imagination is you can paint a picture of what is not seen, not what is already seen. You're not artistic because you can show me what I see every day in my community. I seen Johnny shoot him last week. You gonna put it on the big screen don't mean nothing. You ain't using your imagination. You've been stole to that. But see, if you paint a picture of us being unified, of us running our own communities, of us, it can even be fictitious in the beginning. Make a video of us going down to the school board raising hell. It ain't even got to be true, but if you paint the picture long enough, somebody say it's time to get down there. That's what you're here to do. Because, man, listen. How much longer can we do it this way? How much longer can we do it this way? Somebody got to care. And it's so beautiful that these young people that's here, man, is on something positive. Right. And see, God brought this together. I didn't know nan one of y'all knew me. But we was putting the same type of things out in the atmosphere. Kept pushing it out. And here we are today. And who did our ancestors call for? Who did you think Kunta Kinte wanted to show up one day? He wanted somebody to, hey, I don't want all my babies to keep on being slaves. I don't want them always to be oppressed. They prayed for this day. they prayed for this time. They prayed for you, brother.
Say it.
Cried out for us.
All right.
And we got to make it happen, man. From this day, see, this may be one of the most powerful things that took place in Flint. We'll know in the end if it is. But the fact that we gathered here with the young soldiers, this may be a historical moment. Because when we leave, we should all be committed to liberating our people. And you got to know, man, that we can do this. You got to believe. If you ain't got no spiritual guidance, church home, it's a beautiful place to be. Right here. Beautiful place to be. Because I'm here every Monday night. I ain't just here when the comers on. I'm here every Monday night. Some nights when there ain't but two of us here. Praying for y'all to be here. Praying for the young brothers to be here. But you got to understand, man, that those footsteps, see, this is how wicked our enemy is, man. Let me give you an example. Tell me who Martin Luther King's grandson is. Tell me who Marcus Garvey's son or grandson is. Or Booker T. Washington is. Anybody know? I don't know. I know Bush's sons. I know all the Kennedys. Even heard something not too long ago about the descendant of Abraham Lincoln that's still in the mix. But our great men, they never leave descendants, man. But we are their descendants. Because the message that they left supposed to left out their household and captured our minds as well. So it ain't even really a big thing. But it is truth that is part of the plan. Because if I gun you down while your son 5, 6, or 7, he's scared to death. But if I gun you down while he 14, 15, he mad. He might want some get back. So even this society makes sure that the seeds don't even continue to germinate a great men and women. They don't. And so we got to always, I got a wayward son. But the seed that I'm bringing, y'all my son. I'm old enough to be your daddy. Some of y'all.
All right.
And that's why I'm speaking to you like a big brother. Like a big brother. Or a stepfather or something. But all I wanted to say, man, is that, listen, brothers. It's our time. Our time has arrived. All the examples been out there. It's 100% dissatisfaction where we live in our community that done already been transformed our communities to where it's unbelievable in the eyes of some of our elders. It's unbelievable. They never thought a day would come that a young man would disrespect an old woman. They never thought that because they didn't witness that growing up in Flint in their lives. They had the utmost respect from all the youth. I get knocked upside my head. I don't care who that old man was. He could be in front of the stove begging or whatever it was. If I disrespected him, I had a problem. Now it's normal. We done transformed our communities. Now we got to transform our communities and this world, brother. We got to do that.
Hello, my name is Matthew Smith, Executive Director of Building Better Futures and Mass Music Center, and we're in Flint with Brother D at the program. We're in this together.
Young brothers, tell us what y'all already do, so everybody know what you got going on, so everybody know we got some different black men in the house.
Well, hi, my name Demetrius. You know, I'm an artist of Freedom Music Entertainment, and you know, that's it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Smith. I have a nonprofit organization that deals with youth-based career programs here that I've been running for about 7 years in Genesee County. I'm also a business owner of a music business that basically deals with entrepreneurs, artists like my man here, and anybody who's just trying to promote positivity here in Flint, and you know, just trying to link up with people like yourselves and just keep this positive thing going.
How old is you, brother?
I'm 29 years old.
There's a sister here from I don't know the name of it, so I don't want to mess it up.
2 Moms for Young Moms.
Exactly what y'all do?
We're basically a non-profit organization, and we reach out to young mothers within the Flint community and just give them resources, encourage them that they can succeed, and just basically empowering young women, not just young mothers, but young black women in Flint.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lot of people saying it's hard to reach out to the ones that's wild and what can I say, ratchet, whatever you want to call it. How do y'all reach out to them?
We set an example. That's the most important thing, is you have to set an example. Like for women like that, if they see us doing good and succeeding in life, then they want to do it too. So, and then we hold different events that encourage them to come out and learn more about the organization, and just give them different resources to know that they can succeed and they don't have to act like that.
Now, how do you go about reaching out to the ones that, this is my first time hearing about y'all today, whatever. So how do you go about reaching out to the girls and young women, out in the projects and overseas? Do y'all go out there and network out there?
Well, we really just getting started, but we really do plan to do that in the near future, going to schools, speaking to the students, and going out to places like that, giving out resources. So that is definitely something we plan to do, to reach out to those people. So.
Well, my name is Cameron Brown. I own Freedom Music Entertainment, a positive music label that I do. We also working on a magazine right now called Community Love, which basically what everybody's doing, everybody got something positive right here that's trying to do something. And I just feel like we don't get the spotlight like that we need to push that out there so people can really see it. And I want to change the whole, basically the media, how they look at us and feel that you can't have fun if you believe in God, or you can't do certain things or whatever like that. So I just want to get them the reality of what we're trying to do, and basically reach out to different people in Flint to get in the magazine. If you're an entrepreneur, know anything about health and fitness, parenting, education, and history. And I'm also working on, we're working on it, it's called a Unity News. And we're just right now getting started, just doing interviews, asking people what are 3 things that you want to see change or improve in your community. And we're just going from there right now, so.
And I'm glad to say I was featured on Unity News. I appreciate that. Talk to us, young brother. Oh, man.
I'm ready to talk to y'all, but I want y'all to kill the cameras when I talk to y'all. I'm going to talk to y'all. And anything that I give y'all, y'all can take that, y'all can put it on camera or whatever. And even my part, I want you, even this right now, just edit it out your tape.
We'll do that, brother.
Whenever y'all ready.
My name is Jermaine Davis. I am a video director, music video director, film director, and I have a business called King of King Studios. Also partnered with Family Entertainment, Freedom Music Entertainment, and and also just like Cap said, we just bringing out this positivity in all genres, and so just very proud to be a part of this operation that's going to make a change in Flint.
Hey, let me tell you something. I want to just say this because this blew my mind. When I was with the brother Cameron down there, I had mentioned something about Black Wall Street. This show you how they ain't getting taught nothing in school. The brother told me, you tell him what you told me.
Yeah, he told me about Black Wall Street, and I thought it was, it's a rapper named The Game, and that's his record label name. That's the only thing I ever heard about it, was Black Wall Street. So I started asking different people in my family, and they didn't really know a lot about it either. So I just did research on it, and what I found was amazing. I never knew that actually happened before. Just a good African-American community of businessmen and women actually working together and unified and showing that it can be done. So I feel like if it was done in 1920, we in 2014, so there's no excuse why Flint can't do it.
See how disempowering that is. See, if you ain't got certain information, you don't even believe it ever could happen because you never know that it happened. See, a lot of people around here thinking that what we talking about is brand new. This is built on the people who already done this. See, all that do for self, we done it. This ain't nothing new.
And also, Brother D, it's surprising that they don't make a film about that, but they'll make a film about 12 Years a Slave. They'll make all these slave movies, but they don't want to bring a movie about Black Wall Street out because they know that movie will empower a whole bunch of black minds.
Well, how you gonna sing the documentary?
Huh?
How you gonna sing the documentary?
Or yeah, a documentary, but like a film like about it that really impact worldwide release type stuff. You know, so but yeah,
We're working on that.
But we gonna work on it.
Yeah, we working
Y'all
on
gonna
that.
do it?
Oh yeah, we
gonna do it.
That's what I'm talking about. There ain't no more thank you.
All right.
Right.
Give us something, brother. Yeah, Mr. Robert. Come on, Mr. Robert. Talk to us.
Well,
I'm gonna tell you about Mr. Robert. I was in prison one time, and I read something in the paper about a program. Some of my own family didn't write it, but I read something in the program. And I didn't even write it to him. I wrote it to another brother, and me and this brother began to correspond. He didn't even know me, and wrote me, and I wrote him back. And sometime I go a month, don't write him, and let it come over there. Hubert Roberts. You know how, hey, if anybody ever been like them, you know how the letters make their day.
well, you know, on that note, it's just great, you know, to be, you know, amongst you young men because understanding our history clearly, we were the first people on planet Earth. And again, like the young people say, you can say that and drop the mic. Everybody comes from us. And like Brother D said earlier, you know, we come from kings and queens and civilizations that existed thousands of years ago. When you mention Black Wall Street, the first bomb that was ever dropped on American citizens happened in 1921. Because that community was self-sufficient, self-insulated, and again, the dollar traveled 2 years in that community. The dollar traveled 2 years in that community. But first of all, we are solution-orientated, meaning, Brother Winfrey here, there are some things we're doing in the community to keep the culture and what we are doing alive. Right here, I passed out some information dealing with our annual fishing trip. We're dealing with things that are employing our young people because so often, if you don't see it, you cannot believe it. If you don't see it, you cannot believe it. The young lady said here, we're working with a program called Family of Murdered Children. I work with a program called Black Men for Social Change, Men of Tomorrow. Again, these programs are designed, no excuses. We are committed. I was up at Northwestern today, working with 8 young men. The key is the only way that things are going to change possibly in our community is going to take efforts like this. Those people that came before us, again, it's our commitment because we are going to die. We're going to die. Tupac said this, and let's be real about this. The greatest death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss in life is what lies inside while you're still alive. That's why I commend you young men, because it's our responsibility as older men to help guide and direct. 1963, those girls, that church blew up. Eric Holder, the Attorney General today, his wife was in the church. When you think about what our people have been through, when you think about being castrated, George Washington Carver, y'all ever heard of him? Yes. Peanut, 300 different. Do y'all know Henry Ford, a Ford motor, where he got the idea of the assembly line? George Washington Carver, guys. Let's be real, because history, again, people want to say, oh, I don't want to say nothing about history, this and here. Why do you think people talk about the Tea Party? When somebody say, I'm a constitutional conservative, I want to take my country back, y'all be real with that. When somebody say, I'm a constitutional conservative, when you talk about conserve, that don't mean sharing. When somebody say they want to take their country back, for 500 years we've been here. We were Kikuyan, Ibudo, Kawani, all different tribes in Africa, right? Mind our own business. Somebody kicked our door in and took us over and brought us somewhere else. And again, the relevance of us as a people, we are supposed to be here today. It wasn't designed for us to be no President Barack Obama. It wasn't designed for us to be no doctors, lawyers. It was not designed. We were here, brought here to work and die. Nothing else. Let's be clear with that. So that shows you the resilience of us as a people. That shows you where we come from. And again, we've been tricked. And the trick is on us because we done bought into the lie. The lie that we are nothing and that we come from nothing. That's the lie, and it's continued to be perpetuated. So all I can say is we're doing a lot of great things. I'm being prayerful that I can link up. We can link up and share information and network together because that's what we always did. The biggest trick was integration. We didn't integrate nothing. They integrated us. Again, when we talk about Marcus or anybody, our great leaders, again, the leaders have to come from within us. We have to create those things, and then if you don't produce, make, or own anything, this is a capitalistic society. If you don't produce, if you don't make, own, or create, you die. There's no question about that. They're making it very clear. Welfare, all that kind of stuff, our school system, we are allowing, because we have bought into the lie of a European mindset and material mindset. We are communal people. We are the most spiritual people on the planet Earth. We have loved people that have shown us every day they are 100% diametrically opposed to our existence. Trayvon Martin, Jordan Davis. Let's be real. Anybody can chain a person up and drag them. Mr. Bell in Waco, Texas. Jasper, Texas. Chained him to the back of the truck and drove him down the street. And George Bush at the time was the governor and refused to charge him with a capital murder charge. Again, when he talked earlier about what are we going to be committed to do, because again, all ethnic groups have taken the blueprint from us. Every ethnic group in America right now have learned the LGBT community today have more power than black people. It is unacceptable. We are allowing other people to direct and control our community and our life. Right now, in certain communities in America, they police themselves. But when we step up and say we want to police ourselves, oh no, y'all gonna be vigilante. No, we can't give black men that kind of responsibility. But again, other communities do it themselves, and that's what we're gonna have to be committed to. And again, it's not gonna happen unless things like this has to continue to grow and birth. And we definitely need our young men. You guys, again, when you talk about how we can touch each other, I would like to say, first of all, forgive us men, talking to our young women and our sisters. Forgive us for not being responsible men, for being the dogs, the hoes, and all those things that you can define that has been negative as far as a black man. But I want you to know this. When you have saw or been in a slave cabin and you see your mother, your daughter, and your son raped, when you see a woman that is chained up, pregnant, and cut in half, and the baby fall out, and the slave master take his foot and crush a child, when you see that internalized the DNA in your whole concept of the fear of this human being. Because nobody on the planet Earth would think that somebody could be that cruel. And then on the other hand, we got Henrietta Lacks. Most people, you guys, have you heard of Henrietta Lacks? Henrietta Lacks. You guys need to read about her. Her cells are the only cells that were ever to be reproduced in a lab. Her cells cured polio.
And let me say this. Some of the things he just mentioned about how they did us, the sad part about it is that we took over. See, it used to be a time where white men was the #1 killer of black men. Now we are.
That's right.
It used to be a time the greatest rape of black women was white men. Now we are. So without knowledge, without knowing the truth, Marcus Garvey said this: if you remain under your pressure long enough, you begin to see yourself just like him. See, we see ourselves through the eyes of the people who created niggas. See, it used to be a time on the plantation, hey, come here, nigga. Or when you do something good, that's my nigga. Mm-hmm. Ain't that how we talk now? Mm-hmm. Hey, that's my nigga. I'll shoot that nigga. Mm-hmm. Same thing. We done adopted this same exact mentality because we lack information. Just like sometime when brothers be talking about we need to do for self-build our own community, people be looking at me like I'm crazy because they never knew that it was done before. See, when we were segregated, and couldn't go to their restaurants, we didn't eat. That don't mean we didn't eat.
Mm-hmm.
We still ate. When we couldn't shop in their stores, we still wore clothes. We still done our own thing. And now, we done became the greatest consumers in the world. You always talk about black folk, we ain't got no job. It's hard to get a job, but we the greatest creators of jobs in the world as well.
Mm-hmm.
We create them from corporate America to the industrial prison complex. We create jobs like nobody.
And what I had to say was just basically touching on what y'all already saying. One thing I found out when I first got into this type of work, you know, with community stuff, promoting positivity and things like that. I started, because as you all know, it's not a whole lot of this going on, and that's why I'm grateful to be here today, because when I first started networking, I was doing a lot of it downtown Flint. And one thing I would notice about the meetings, 80 white people in here, and I'm the only black person. So that told me off the bat that why isn't more of our color in here receiving this information? And so as I continue, you know, networking and things like that, you know, I look at some of the students that was there, 13, 14 years old, in there with grant officers of CS Roofmont Foundation, political individuals and delegates of the city of Flint. But meetings like this is what it's going to take to really keep the masses rolling, keep, you know, I'd rather sit here and delegate with y'all than to go down there and they pick my brain and steal my brain and sell it. Because that's all that's taking place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I try to tell you, I was speaking about that Black Wall Street. I said the hood is Black Wall Street. That's why they wanted a killing zone. So every dollar we make, we don't invest it back in the hood. We take it out to Genesee Valley. And we take it to Bergeron. And we take it to Detroit. And we on the internet spending $1,000 or $500 giving it to a person we don't even know or never seen. You know what I'm saying? And so one thing I've been doing is working with a lot of young entrepreneurs and helping them to develop their ideas, be creative, think, engage with our people, because we got all the resources and all the talent. And I mean, you look on TV, you see in commercials now, corporate, you know, big commercials, they even stole that word swag. You know what I'm saying? Everything we do, they want to manipulate it and psychologically make us think that it's bad. But if you look out in the world, selling it like hotcakes each and every day. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you. I know it's a joy for older people to see young people on the right track trying to do something positive. What about your peers? When you stop gangster rapping and trying to get positive, what your peers say? What kind of pull is it on you? Or the little sister, when you want to help moms instead of teaching them how to twerk, how is that received?
They call you whack.
Yes, it's like, it's really hard to get support when you're doing something positive. It's like they'll support, like we have a Facebook page, and like we want people to like our page. Like they'll go support a page of twerking or gangster rapping, but
Twerk Nation.
right. But they're barely going to support something positive. So like that's the big thing is like the support, like with your peers. You trying to get them to support. So it's a lot of times we gotta, I guess, I don't know, try to have not gimmicks, but try to reel them in, because it's like a contradiction. Like y'all gonna support the twerking video, but y'all don't want to support us helping young moms or helping our community. It's a big contradiction. Like we can't help others. We have to learn to help ourselves. Is what I'm trying to say. Help us help Flint. Is what I'm trying to say.
I got something too. Yeah, we feel like, you know what I'm saying, being outcast, because all of us, you know what I'm saying, came from the hood, did stuff, you know what I'm saying, and now that we just showing you, yeah, we made mistakes, but we wasn't going to keep making them mistakes. We want to grow up and be men. And you know what I'm saying, really, I got to the point, I just don't really care. Like, I don't really care. I'm gonna lose friends, families, whatever for doing this, but I mean, at the end of the day, God got me. So, and I know God gonna give me the people around me that's gonna help it, you know what I'm saying, grow. So I'm not really really concerned about other people's feelings or hurting their feelings, because it's at the end of the day, I know I'm still doing something good and what's positive, because at the end of the day, they gonna need help, just like all of us needed help at one point in time. So, and I ain't gonna turn my back on them. I'll still be there to say, hey, I'm glad you finally came over, so let's show you what you gotta do and keep on rolling.
I'm gonna add something on to that. Like I said, I'm 29 years old. I started this when I was like 19. And I've been working at General Motors for 11 years. When I started doing this, I lost friends. My own family looked me in the eyes. You ain't got no business. What you go do helping this? What you go do? What you know? You know what I'm saying? All the hate. But one thing I learned that overpowers all of that. It's knowledge, love, wisdom, and you just staying persistent. Because one thing I noticed, like how you saying how we gonna reach out to those people who twerking and people who in the hood and stuff like that, you just have to be patient within yourself, because the effort is not to persuade or win people over. The approach you take is plant seeds. When you plant a seed, what happened? It grow. And now that I've been doing this for years, you wouldn't believe how many people came back to me. Matt, you was right. You know, now they tapping into the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Now I look around me, and today I could say about 7 or 8 of my friends, now they doing what I'm doing. May not be exactly what I'm doing, but they walking in the same light, being positive, promoting this, promoting that. And then you know what happened? Now we all could connect, and we stronger. It's strength in numbers. You know what I'm saying? But it's a process. You trying to undo what's being done, so it takes time. But it's not for nothing, and it's not gonna be in vain. Trust me. Yeah. I'm a living witness. You know what I'm saying? I just resigned from my job at the beginning of this year because God has blessed me with the work I've been doing, where I could do this full time.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave. I got another engagement. But to my young people, you know, we all in the same boat. It's not gonna be in vain. Just keep on doing what you're doing. If I could be assistance to anyone, you know, I have a wealth of resources with what I've established and what I have going on. And keep me in the loop, and I'll be attending and getting others to attend these meetings as well. And I greatly appreciate y'all for giving me an opportunity to be here today. All right. All right.
Hey, my brother.
Okay.
Take these, right?
Thank you. Now, last but not least, man, I want to hear from Mr. Winfrey, brother here, y'all. We want to share something with the young folks, man. I think we got some soldiers here.
Well, let me just start out by saying this. This is my first time meeting Brother D in person, but I've been following him on Facebook, and he speaks the truth. He has a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and when he invited me here tonight, you know, I just had to come. I mean, there was no way I could not come. And brother, you speak a powerful message, and I'm just honored, you know, to be here tonight. You know, I don't speak a lot. That's why I like to write plays and short stories and poetry. Our mission at McCree Theater, and I'm the director of McCree Theater, is to tell the African American story in the African American voice, plain and simple. And we adopted that mission because, you know, we know how important and how vital it is to be able to tell our story. I mean, to tell our story, you know, in truth, without distortion, without distorting our image, you know, because in the final analysis, that's what this is all about. They have distorted our image. and our images throughout the years to the point where today we don't even know who we are. You know, that's why we keep stressing education, study, knowledge, and information, because they've had a field day just distorting who we are. So we're in the image shaping, or I should say image correcting business at McCree Theater. Again, we feel it's just vitally important to be able to project to our people who we are, the truth about our history, and to be real about what we're doing to each other, basically. That's all part of telling our story. And to make sure, that we, we do it in a way that uplifts our community. But again, I'm just happy to be here, and I want to say that as this grows, and I can see the potential in its growth, that if we need a bigger facility, we got 200 seats at McCree Theater, and then we could do the same thing there.
Appreciate that offer.
Okay, so that's about it, Brother D.
Okay. All right, I want to get the brother rolling in and let my brother Derek Pope have the last word. We're going to kill the cameras in a minute. Yeah, he's going to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm ready to get off the cameras myself. But I'm just grateful to be. I'm grateful to be here. We here every Monday. We just here. I learned to be committed to something. When brothers started talking, when they started giving us information, like Mr. Roberts, Brother D dropped he hit us with some wealth. So we got history on our side. It's up to us to go get it. This real. This our life. We all we got. We gonna have to believe that we can make a difference. It's very difficult for us to do anything separated. We got to find a way to come together. Everybody got their individual lives. When we leave here, the thing that for me is not to let this, like they say, go in one ear and out the other one, or forget about it, or you got to find a way to believe in something. Even though we got separated agendas, sometimes everybody got to make their own way. I know I got to live. I got to support my family. But I got to find a way for it to be more than that, because it ain't about me. It's about leaving a legacy for real. It's about building a real community that our babies don't have to suffer the stuff that we suffering right now. I think. So the first step, what we just heard right now, I guess this is the beginning, not for all of us, but maybe for some of us to be debriefed and to find out what that means. I believe that we under some type of spell right now. A lot of us. The spell got to be broken first, because whatever we up against, the opposition will wait us out, because we'll run out of steam real quick. We'll have one bright idea today, and tomorrow we'll be on something else. That's just how it goes. We'll faint, especially if it get hard or if it get tough. Sometimes we'll run out of steam. But some of us been on this thing for a long time, and it ain't like we gonna come out tonight. This ain't gonna turn around overnight.
We gonna start.
It already started. This was something. I don't know. There's something on the inside of me is turning. I don't know what to do. I just want to do something. I got to do something.
was going to say something. And like I said, you see it, it's been happening for so many years how they will award us with something negative and not positive. Like, I feel that Denzel Washington, he should have had got that Best Actor award playing Malcolm X. But they gave him really an award for playing a crooked, negative cop. Because they wanted to see him play that ignorant, crazy black man. Same way with Jamie Foxx. They, you know, they had to award him for playing a blind man, other than other stuff that he has done. You know, and Halle Berry, Dorothy Dandridge was a great role she played, but they gave her an award for showing herself getting banged by a white man on screen.
It's called cultural conditioning.
Yes, sir. And it's just crazy how that's been done.
And towards the end, we're going to go out with the young brother, my man, Derek Potter, producer of the show.
I'm going to relate back to what the brother said about the spell. It's like, really, a lot of people don't know if he is living under a spell, deep spell. And it's a lot of things going on, because really a lot of people don't know everything deals with energy and vibration. And the energy that's coming out and the vibration that's coming out all negative is to keep us down. See, like me, I only eat food that comes from nature. Why? Because all the other food processed with chemicals, different toxins to keep your body and your spirit low. A lot of people don't know this information. If you search it up, there's fluoride in the water. What does fluoride cause? Cancer, all kind of different things. And this is the most really important thing that most people need to realize, because that's how they're keeping us low, vibrating low, and it's affecting us, our spirituality, and us, period. And that's how they keep control over a lot of things, because of the foods we eat, the water we drink, because it's got so many chemicals, toxins in it, and that's how they really affect it. And it's a big spell like going on right now. It's falling. The government falling. I mean, they really don't have no power over us. Like, they can say this, say that, and a lot of people, like you say, they scared of the government. They don't want to stand up, but really, if we all stand up together, they gonna be scared of us. So that's really what I feel like we gotta do. We gotta stand up as one and all, and really get ourselves together spiritually, heal our body and our temple, because our body is a temple. And you know, it's a lot of information out here. I feel like we gotta build our own communities, you know, start growing food, you know, and start living the right way, how we supposed to be living.
All right, Flint Town has been winning this together with Brother D. The old school, new school summit. Everybody say it. Peace to you.
Peace to you.
We out of here. We ain't got to go, but it's the show.